Hey guys, welcome to Modern Ukrainian Homestead channel. Today's video will be kind of long. That's because it's mainly educational and mainly meant for Ukrainians, and I'm just like go along doing this for my English channel in parallel. So today's topic is how to organize the reserve electricity power station for your, I don't know, home, van, camper, whatever, because there might be various and different needs that you may need it for. So we will start from the very small and simple one and up to the bigger and bigger and the most sophisticated one. You will have the time codes, you will have the links, you will have the descriptions and everything in the under the video in the description. So let's go. So, the easiest and the simplest way to organize your very simple level of autonomy anywhere, literally basically anywhere where you can get with this kind of devices. So first of all, you will need this kind of battery inverter, which is so-called automobile battery inverter, as we call them. They are able to be for 12 volt, for 24 volts, rated from 500 watts up to, I have seen maybe even 8,000 watts. But just be aware, those are rated at peak. So generally, if you want a continuous load, you have to reduce the number stated by 2 at least. In my case, this is a very old thing. It's 1200 watts, but apparently, yeah, it's realistically 600 watt in normal continuous load. As I've proven, I have it like for a long time. It's 9 years already, and it's still working. The problem is they are kind of noisy, but they may allow you to work with something. So how I was specifically using it. Once here at this place, there was absolutely nothing. There were no power lines, only the one power line. Oh, you don't see it from here, but yeah, there was just like a huge 10 kilovolt power line going through the field, and there was nothing. I came here with my car, and this thing just clamped on the battery inverter, started the engine, and just use whatever I want. I could use a drill, I could use a angle grinder, I could use even the concrete vibrator for 750 watts. So this all is vibrated absolutely, and it still holds perfectly from that moment. So as you may see here, how the structure is. So it was really done absolutely nicely. This thing helped me to do this. Until in 2020, I just bought a normal petrol generator for 3 kilowatts, and that's it. But this small thing was really a lifesaver. It was really cheap. I don't know, maybe $16, $17, something like this. That was the price at that time. And I mean, it has proven to be so effective. Like, I mean, that's realistically unbelievable. What else do you need? If you're using any kind of reserve system for some long time, you might need a charger for this. This is actually a good charger to charge your normal car battery, for example. Because, for example, as Volvo manual says, if you don't drive much, like I do, you have to once per month or 2 months put your car on a charger. So this thing, for example, will definitely help you. And take a look, it has the repair button. So once you click the repair, what happens? It goes in the pulse mode. And that is really nice because it allows to like restore the battery up to its normal and great capacity. So that's what it generally does. It does a gentle pulsating current to feed through this, and it restores it internally. So that's how it works. It has a smart algorithm inside. It works absolutely great as a charger, but eventually, yes, you cannot get more than 6 amps out of it. But you don't have to count for more. So that's the reality. What else? How can you improve this system? Very simple. Let me show you. So, you generally go and take this kind of controller, because this one is 12 to 24 volts. In my case, it's working in 24 volt mode because they have a 24 volt battery bank being charged. Actually 48, but charged in pairs, as I've been explaining you. But it can operate absolutely nicely in 12 volt mode, so you can have an input for the solar panel and for the wind turbine, so they both work simultaneously, and basically the same stuff will be happening on 12 volt system. Just maybe the output will be reduced because it will limit it, because there are procedures normally not to get too much current into it. And if you go it into the battery, let me do this quickly so you will see the whole amperage that gets into, and I'll focus it. So yeah, you see this is how many amps actually go inside the battery in my case. Yeah, that's how it works, and it works absolutely nicely. So what do you have to get for this? You have to get one solar panel, and I would recommend you getting a wind turbine like this. For this case, the M3 model. It will work perfectly on 12 volt, on 24 volt. No issues with that. The only thing you have to do, you have to lengthen the tail and increase its area. That's it. So it will not turn like it just did. And don't put it too low. But for your camper van, I mean, it's just like a simple pole, and that's already a good autonomous solution for you. Don't go for this kind of wind turbine. Never ever buy it. I will do a separate video with explanation about it. I'm specifically mounted here for just like to show you, but that will be shoot later. Don't go for the through wind turbine. This one is so much more effective, so just go for this one. It's really not that much difference in price. Its price is only probably like 200 bucks, maybe with something. That's it. So yeah, this is the simplest, and let's go to the bigger one. System number 2. It is based on this kind of solar inverter. It calls hybrid inverter, but actually it's autonomous inverter because it cannot sell back to the grid. But anyways, it's actually very good to do the autonomous power station somewhere. It can be 48 volts, 24 volt, even 12 volts. In my case, that's 48 volt one. And basically the params are as you see. It has a solar charger, it has the AC charger mode, it can invert from the batteries to your AC load. What do I suggest? Just input the circuit breaker here and here. I mean, not input, but add the circuit breaker, so just like for your convenience. Of course, you have to add the specific protection for your PV input in case you're using it. That's a separate topic. I've been talking about this already. About the batteries, it's really actually a good one. It has nice terminals, so just think of proper cable and apply a proper connector. Cheap, but kind of okay. You are not going to like reconnect them many times. Just like do it once and that's it. What do I suggest additionally? Since this thing can work with both with the grid and with the generator, to apply the generator correctly, you have to use, before the input, you have to use this. This switch, it will allow you to basically utilize, if you don't have any city power, you can use your generator if, for example, you have no sun, it's winter, it's trouble with the grid, I don't know, some kind of outage. Let's say there was a heavy storm and like the power lines are out, down, so for a couple of days, what do you have to do? You have any power gen, you can basically connect it through the switch. For example, put it in manual mode, right, in manual, and then just switch, and it will be supplying from the generator to the output. Where is the load side? Yeah, here is the load side. From the load side, you supply it here, and your generator will be charging the batteries. That's it. That's the main point, because, well, you just run your generator for a couple of hours, and that's literally it. The batteries are charged, and they work so much better because your gen works in a nice and neat mode, and it is not getting overloaded. What do you need? What kind of batteries do you need for this kind of inverter? There are literally two options. Many of you probably will be thinking about small ones because, for example, for a camper van, how much power do you need? 3 kilowatts, 4 kilowatts? Oh man, never. That's probably will be a lot. So many of you will be ending up with just getting a pair of gel batteries for 24 volt system, just like 12 volt and 12 volt, connect them in the sequence in series, and that's it. Then you have the 24 volt battery bank, or go for 48 volt battery bank, for example this one. I mean, that's the cheapest solution, but the problem is that these cannot accept too much current on charge and on discharge. 30 amps is their limit, unless, you can blow them off. That's reality. So this one is by default limited to 30. In the settings, of course, you can change it, but it can accept up to 80 amps. This exact version, the 48 volt one, for 6.2 kilowatts of power. it can go up to 80 amps, and that means it is absolutely perfectly suitable for lithium ferrum phosphate batteries, LiFePO4. And I will be issuing, I believe this week, a huge video about the batteries and where to get them. I found really good Chinese manufacturer. They produce the batteries actually from the prismatic cells. So I'll be explaining you how they do. I'll be getting some myself because I will need a lot of them actually. But yeah, that will be the next video sometime later. But I suggest, if you want a good battery, go for lithium battery, not lithium ion, simple lithium ion that they use for Tesla, for example, because those are flammable. Go for lithium ferrum PO4. Those are not flammable, non-explodable. They are just so much better in every sense. That's it. That's my message for you about this. And let's go for the next option then. Forgot to add one thing. This is a very important part if you want to add PV on your inverter, because many of you might be using this just as a power bank, so to keep it the ultimate power supply for your home or for your apartment. But as we Ukrainians do, because we have a lot of those installed in the apartment, so it's a parallel energy storage system for home that we actually are mounting everywhere, in almost every place. So that's because like we have the constant outages, but the powers have to stay being powered regardless whatever. So before PV input, if you have some solar panels, just go and get for $35 this kind of box, already built in, everything inside. Just connect your PVs plus and minus, connect your batteries plus and minus. Not the batteries, the inverter input, sorry. It has the fuses, it has the surge protection, and it has a DC switch, actual true DC switch for convenience of servicing the PV array system. That's it. Add the ground for it specifically, because, well, I mean, this thing needs a ground, an honest one, so that's what you have to think about. As always, link in the description, you will find it. Just go for it and don't forget it. Let's go further. Next level of the system, it's based on this kind of inverter, Deye, or it can be also sold in some countries under Sunsynk brand, because they have the same hardware, they should differ a little bit in software. It has a lot of features, it's really nicely built one. I mean, it has, in my case, for example, right now we are without any grid, so as you may see, it only compensates its own load. I think maybe some water heater is on right now. And that's it, not that much. Batteries are full 100%, no grid, and well, yeah, that's it. Oh, you see, you have just seen that the grid went back, and it will just like in a second it will start selling back to the grid, and it will go and pick it up, and will actually do its job really nicely. Yeah, that goes. So what do I have to do? No, I don't have to rearrange anything here at this moment. Yeah, let it sell a little bit of power, and then I will get back to adding some microinverters, because I have this input on where my wind turbine is sitting, and the other one where there are several other panels and a couple of smaller wind turbines. So that's the basically next level of the system. It is already more utility based. You have to use this kind of batteries, not specifically about batteries. I'll be issuing a separate video, as I told you. But this is just one of the examples. These are the branded, the great batteries. They are in your monitoring application. I mean, you will see everything that is required, and Chinese will literally remotely update the BMS of these batteries. And for this guy, there is also the full remote control and remote maintenance. So I don't know, I don't have any complaints about it, except the only thing that it's pricey. Specifically in my country, recently the prices has went so much high, it's literally crazy. In this case, it's 10 kilowatt inverter, 3-phase. They are single phase, and very recently they announced the additional one line, the so-called SM2 series, which will be from 14 to 20 kilowatt 3-phase hybrid inverters, I think, but they are not able to able for order right now, so this will happen maybe closer to September, something like this. But I'm desperately waiting because I think I need one for 20 kilowatts. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, this is the next level system, and let's talk about the most and top of the top, which is I consider and I think which is Victron, because well, it's different level. It's just a different way of thinking. But yeah, that's it. That's it for this. Let's go further. And let's talk shortly about the system number four, which is Victron. I still think that Victron based system is probably the best one that you can get on the market. However, it has some pluses and of course minuses. So the first plus and the main plus of the system is that it's literally heavy duty and it will last you for ages. That's true. I mean, some components can go off and go down. That's natural because everything breaks. But eventually, if taking the percentage of failure and if taking the number of years it will be working, it will outlast many others, and I will say even anybody else. That's the only plus that currently the system has, because everything else for me specifically is the complexity and the price, which makes it go down and down in the market share recently. So it is complex because, for example, if you take the inverter, you only have the inverter which inverts from AC to DC. You can charge from AC to DC, but you don't have any solar charge control on board. You have to buy a separate unit. You don't have the communication box. You have to buy a separate unit. You don't have any monitoring. You have to buy a separate unit. Moreover, to connect the all the pluses and minuses, you use either bus bars, either something like shunt and links. I think I might be mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. But like this is like the whole number of components you have to get to make the system up and running. That's a trouble. And if you're a beginner, you definitely will never figure out it very quickly how to work with the system. So that's the like plus and minus. Plus because it's modular, you can build whatever, and minus because it's modular because you have a lot of components, and if you miss one, you will not be able to like use some functions of it. Unlike with the system, the previous one with Deye, where everything is on board, like the charge controller on board, the monitoring is on board, and it even has some features that Victron never had. For example, it's a three-phase Deye, it has the asynchronous phase fitting function. For example, I'm using it, for example, constantly. Why not, if it's on board? What else? Basically about the system 3 and 4, you have to get them from your local installer. Systems number 1 and 2, those are like, one is very simple, really simple. I don't know, you can use it for, I don't know, some outer space, I don't know, station for whatever your needs might be, I don't know, for a van. But system number 2 is definitely easy and like really straightforward to build on your own. Um, the others two are more complex, and you should probably think of you getting your installer. But if you have started with the first or second one, you might be already knowledgeable enough to expand yourself to the system number 3 or 4. For example, we with my friend, we just like recently last week, we just mounted him a couple of panels on the roof and just reconnected. And like a month before, we launched the system based on Deye, just on our own without using any installers. That's because I have some experience. I've been like given some hints and explanations what to do. Because he was asking questions. Well, he wasn't wise, but he wouldn't do it on his own. That's the reality. So that's it for today. I hope you liked it, and see you later. Next video will be about, I have something very, very special for you guys. This is about the lithium ferrum phosphate, lithium ferrum PO4, lithium ferrum phosphate batteries. I have found a really great supplier from China, the factory that produces the like build
already assembled blocks, 5, 10, 15 kilowatt hours of capacity, so to say. If in cells it's 100, 230, or 280 amp hours cells that they use inside. And these are the factory built blocks. And I will explain you everything about those because the price is something really. I got some for myself, like 4 huge units. I got for them for myself. They already on the way. The payment has been sent, so I will be getting them. I don't know, maybe in 3 months. Like I need them because well, they are a great price and they are huge. And they will have there will be a lot of capacity inside. So that's something to consider. That will be coming next week, so just you wait and you will have this information. Uh, Subscribe if you haven't already, and see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.